If you are thinking of moving to the greater Phoenix area and family matters to you, if you are about to begin your family, if you have toddlers or preschool or school age children, or how about those lovely preteens or the young adolescents, the young adults, family matters and what an area delivers for your children, for their development, for not only educational, but behavioral or social activities or athletic programs, indoor, outdoor, everything that molds these young adults into what is going to be our future. You're going to want to watch this video. We're going to break down the entire Southeast Valley. There's going to be many videos to come, but we're going to talk specifically today about the top 5 reasons I'm calling the Southeast Valley your destination for the perfect environment in the greater Phoenix area to raise a family. All right, let's get started right now. All right, let's start with something that's important to everyone. Doesn't matter if you have children or not. Safety and security is so important. Let's start with the crimegrade.org map. Let's compare the rest of the Phoenix area and let me explain how kind of the valley works. So green is going to be the safest areas, the lower crime, both violent and property that has been reported. And then orange is going to be some of the worst, the lowest. So anything in between is exactly that in the middle. And if we look at the entire greater Phoenix area, you're going to see that the core of the city is probably where the majority of the problems are. And then as we go out to just about any of the suburbs, they are green. But I'm pointing out the Southeast Valley because there's more areas with more green, along with a lot of other means to protect the community to ensure its safety and security. What exactly I mean is, first of all, we talked about the lower crime rates. We're talking about overall very safe neighborhoods. There are safety neighborhood watches throughout the entire Southeast Valley. There is good street lighting throughout this part of town. We have a ton of sidewalks. We have bike lanes. So even on the busier streets, you're going to have bike lanes that make it a safer community. We have local parks everywhere. And when I say parks in the Southeast Valley, I'm talking about green parks with green trees, with chairs and shade, and really where you can enjoy it. Some of the other parts of the greater Phoenix area, although they do have some parks, they lack the green, they lack the shade structures, and it's mostly rock. Now here's the thing. I know a lot of people are worried about the water usage on these public areas. Many of the areas, including the man-made lakes, some people call them ponds. This is all reclaimed water, so you can't go swimming in them, but it sure makes, let me tell you, when it's 115 degrees outside and you're in front of a pond, if you want to call it that, walking over a little bridge underneath a shade tree, it feels cooler is all I got to say. Now, here's the other part that I really love is, and it has to do with the tight code enforcement that we have in the Southeast Valley. Now, you're probably wondering, what does that have to do with safety? Well, let me tell you, one piece of graffiti turns into 10 pieces of graffiti, and before you know it, sides of walls and buildings, it just becomes trash. Kids hang out, or even adult people that shouldn't be there. You have broken glass, you have trash. I'm telling you, when you have dedicated code enforcement teams on the cities and you have community involvement like you do in the Southeast Valley with these amazing apps, I know you're probably like, what? So in the city of Chandler, one of my favorites, it's called Chandler Public Works. And you can go onto this app no matter where you're at. If you see a problem, whether it's graffiti, it's trash, it's something that's broken, even a water spigot that does water trees or something like that is going out. You wherever you're at, you just hit the app, you go, and then you can reset it too if you get to another destination while you're not driving. Needless to say, it immediately goes directly into the city, and the same business day they respond to it. For code enforcement, like signs and things in the graffiti truck, they go out twice a week and they completely remove it. I'm telling you, you can pick any day of the week and you can drive around the Southeast Valley. You're not going to find an excessive amount of graffiti or trash at all. And if you find something, just report it and it will be removed. This is something the Southeast Valley has taken a lot of pride in. And again, it's a very heavy community that comes together to protect their neighborhoods. The city of Gilbert, town of Gilbert has a partnership. The police department has a partnership with the Ring app. And so they too get a ton of involvement where people have seen things and that's been picked up on Ring, and they just send it into the police department and boom, it's checked out. I'm telling you, the technology in the technology part of the valley really makes a difference when it comes to safety and security. Now, here's another thing too. Because the Southeast Valley has not one, two, three, four different freeways that surround, actually four and like a half. There's so many freeways. It offloads that traffic stress on the surface streets. This is great for your teenagers that have just got your driver's license. They can take surface streets, go clear across town in the Southeast Valley and never have to get on a freeway. Also, it makes for our streets to be much safer, and you're going to see that in car insurance. And let me tell you, when you're paying for your teenager's car insurance, you want as much lower cost as possible. There are lower cost car insurance on the Southeast Valley than there is in the West Valley. That's my 2 cents on safety and security in the Southeast Valley. All right, number 2 comes in with school, education, quality public and private and collegiate choices. Like, you want choices at all levels. We're talking from preschool, pre-K to half-day kindergarten, tuition-free. We're talking public schools. We're talking charter schools. We're talking private schools. We're talking Christian Catholic schools. There's even a Jewish school. There is so many different schools in the Southeast Valley. If your child is in need for some special assistance, for instance, autism, there's an amazing autistic school in South Chandler area. There are so many options at every single level, whether you're looking at from a scholastic perspective, whether you want your children more in the STEM program or more of a literal arts kind of program, even some agriculture type of schools. There is a lot of stuff going on in the Southeast Valley. Let's not forget about athletics, both from a high school or private, little league and soccer and volleyball and club. Like, that's all part of education, right? Just the team sports, even from an academic standpoint, like debate teams. There are some amazing debate teams, and oh my gosh, the robotics programs. I'm talking like state champion, national champion that come from the Southeast Valley. Don't forget, we have ASU that's also considered part of the Southeast Valley, although it's in the North Tempe area. But again, that's what I mean by living in the Southeast Valley. Even if you have college kids and you want them to still stay at home, save a little money, it's close proximity to ASU. And there's also an East Campus, and there's several community colleges that are also, oh my gosh, I could go on and on about all the different programs, the libraries that are already here. So this is part of, again, there's a lot of great safe suburbs. But when you start kind of like checking boxes, like we want safety, okay, we saw that there's safety everywhere. When we start talking about the educational part, the schools and programs that are available to the kids, do you want to wait for those new schools, or do you want to go where it's already there waiting for you? Now, Chandler and Gilbert have very well established school systems. Queen Creek has been working on this for almost 20 years. Yep, that's when I bought my first house there. They just opened a new high school. They don't even have their senior year already. Like, it's only got 3 years in it. And they're already talking about the next schools that they're going to be opening. There's the Southeast Valley is so much further ahead than the rest of the Phoenix area. So again, do you want to move to an area where you're going to be waiting for this to come in, or it's already here for your children to enjoy? When we talk about public programs, like let's talk about libraries, let's talk about community centers. Oh my gosh, the parks and recreation centers in these cities and towns, let's just call them cities, it is endless. Whether you're talking about like just teaching kids how to swim, that's like kind of a natural thing. Just to let you know, when my grandson turned 1, he was already in a private swimming. There are swimming schools all over the valley, but it's available at the community center level. Oh, and I didn't mention there's public pools everywhere, which is great social aspect for the kids. Boy, I'm kind of going off on a tangent. There's just so many things that are very kid focused in the Southeast Valley. The teen resources, I mean, these are, again, these are cities that have been established for 20, 40, even 50 years. Chandler has been in the works for about 50 years now when Intel first came. So with all that technology money that has been coming into the school system and the programs and the services, oh my God. So the teen resources that they have available, the youth programs, it is unbelievable. Oh my gosh, I didn't even mention there is a school in the Southeast Valley that is nowhere else. It's called EVIT. It stands for East Valley Institute of Technology. This is a free public school that is available to anybody that lives in the Southeast Valley. It's for juniors and senior years. There is literally probably 30, 40, maybe even 50 different classes that set them up for after high school already. So we're talking about trades work, we're talking about orthodontic or dental work, we're talking about automotive, we're talking about beauty, we're talking, I think they even have some coding, computer science classes. It gets your children ready even for college at a much faster, deeper level than the rest of the valley. And it's free. The Southeast Valley cannot be beat when it comes to educational opportunities for your children. Number 3, I'm going to call this family activities or family adventures. There is no better place in the Southeast Valley. First, I am going to give some accolades to Glendale. Glendale is setting the bar high with all their new stuff that's coming in. But let me point out, that is for the tourists. That will be what brings the people in. I don't know how many people that live on the West Valley are really going to be engaging in that. Like, that's my personal opinion. And Scottsdale, totally different tourist and totally different tourist attractions. When you're talking about bars, nightlife, pool parties, high-end shopping, and high-end restaurants, that's Scottsdale. Now, let's talk about what the Southeast Valley has to offer, because I'm telling you, from a family perspective, it's going to blow you away. I want to talk specifically about what's happening in Gilbert. Gilbert, and I'm going to have a video that you're going to have to watch. You're just going to have to subscribe to my channel and wait for that video to come out. But I am telling you, it's rivaling Scottsdale as the new Scottsdale, but it's not Scottsdale because it's very family focused. I'm telling you, it is just absolutely blowing it up with all kinds of new attractions. So if you live anywhere in the Southeast Valley, you can take advantage of these Gilbert events, activities, entertainment. We're talking everything from the high-end restaurants. We're talking an amazing downtown area that you see tons of families in downtown Gilbert, not in downtown Scottsdale. Such a family-friendly environment. There's all kinds of amazing parks in the area. There's the light tower. There's also farmers market. There is even a little rodeo that's also happening once a year. There is so much in downtown Gilbert. Oh my gosh, the cute little charm of it all. It's family focus is all I got to say. On top of that, there's Santan Village. Now, if you want to there's still shopping area for adults. There's amazing wine tasting events in this area. But again, it's in a family-friendly environment. It's not just the high-end, more older, mature, higher income people that are coming to these kind of events. It's more, again, more welcoming to a larger demographic of people and mostly children. You see a lot of strollers at these events, let me tell you. Also, the city of Mesa. Oh my gosh, downtown Mesa is so dang cute. And the museums that they have there for the kids are unbelievable. My grandson loved the absolute dinosaur museum. And there's also, if you're thinking of like Center for Performing Arts, I took my mom to the Center for Performing Arts in Chandler. There's just stuff everywhere. It was a show called Stomp, and I couldn't believe how many kids were in this. When you're talking about arts programs and theater, Chandler has a lot of these programs. Also, we are seeing these explode in Tempe. So Tempe, the downtown area is kind of, I pointed that on the map. But if you go to East Tempe, you have an area called Tempe Marketplace. Tempe Marketplace, oh my gosh, They had a pup festival. By the way, too, if you're a dog crazy like I am, along with the kids, Southeast Valley is super dog friendly. So, anyways, there's all kinds of festivals. Also, downtown Tempe, on Tempe Mark, no, it's called Tempe Town Lake. I can't even think of all the names of it. They have concerts, they have festivals. I took one of our past clients that used to live in Hawaii. They were missing it. So I said, hey, come down with me. We caught the light rail. Again, public transportation when the kids are teenagers and they're not yet driving and you still want them to be able to get out and about. That's how we became people our age. That's how we learned to get around. Mom and dad didn't always drive us around. So again, they have these options in the Southeast Valley. But I took them to the Polynesian Festival. That was amazing for them. There is also paddle boarding up this way. If you are really outdoorsy, if you like camping and hiking, not only do you have the Superstition Mountains, you have Salt River to go paddle boarding, but you can also go hiking at Sandtown Mountains. You also have South Mountain, which I haven't even begun to tell you about. In reference to outdoor activities. So if you're living in kind of the West Chandler area or Ahwatukee, you have amazing hiking options if that's something that's super cool for you. Also, everything from like even just outdoor, parks. Oh my gosh, Gilbert and Chandler have the idea of a park is not just a little tiny thing. It's these ginormous parks. Wing Creek. Oh my gosh, I could just go on and on about this. If you want your children to enjoy the outdoors, we do have 10 months of kid-friendly weather. We might think it's hot, but these kids don't. Frontier Park in Queen Creek, oh my gosh, it's mind-blowing. There are so many parks and recreational events. There's green spaces, there's cultural activities. Like I said, there's already the Center for Performing Arts, even for the kids to get involved in these things. There's community pools that I mentioned. If you don't want to have a pool, not only do some of these, many of the newer communities have, and when I say newer, like within the last 20 years, have community pools. They also have public pools all over the Southeast Valley. There are athletic fields if your kids are into skateboarding, if they're into soccer, there's all kinds of soccer. There is oh my God, Gilbert has some of the most amazing Little League programs. So does Chandler. They also have a Southeast Valley football for the younger kids that's not affiliated with school. There's volleyball. There's girls basketball. There's all of this is in the Southeast Valley. And let me tell you why. Again, when you're going out to some of these newer communities, they don't have programs like this already in place. Because although it seems large, maybe that city, like for instance, let's just pick Verrado, amazing, cute little town, but it only has about 25,000 residents. And the people there that live there, and let me tell you, we've sold a lot in Verrado. It's one of my favorite on the southwest part of the valley. They say outside of the community, there's very limited options for their children. And those schools are not rated 10 out of 10. So again, if you're looking for the full gamut, the Southeast Valley is so hard to beat. Oh my gosh, I haven't even talked about pecan. Do you say pecan or pecan? I say it's pecan. Pecan Lake Entertainment. Oh, this is just unbelievable. Editor, can you please show them around? It's mind-blowing. Or this is going to blow you away because it's not on your list, but I'm telling you, it's important and you want to think about it when you're moving to a new city. And that is proximity to everything that you need. And what I mean by that, again, is that the Southeast Valley has been building on its development and infrastructure for the last 50 years. Intel came out here in the late 80s, and ever since then, it's just been build, 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 build. We are now experiencing that growth in the southwest and the northwest part of the valley. And I do think there's going to be massive growth in the northwest part of the valley, but you're not going to see it in the next 10 years like you see it right now in the Southeast Valley. So if you're thinking about what do I get to enjoy today, again, Southeast Valley comes in at the top of the charts. More specifically, because it's not just one, not two, not three, but four different freeways. If you are going all the way to California or you're going all the way down to Tucson, you're going to catch Interstate 10. If you want to go north within the Southeast Valley or head up to Scottsdale because you have friends in from out of town or something else is going on up there, you're going to catch the 101 north. Super easy. If you are going east and westbound on the north part of the Southeast Valley, you're going to hit two different freeways. The furthest north part is the 202. This 202 freeway, it's like 8 lanes wide and there's hardly anybody still on it. It has been built for massive growth still to come in the Southeast Valley. We also have Interstate 60. If you've been around in Phoenix long enough, you knew when this was called Beeline Highway. Interstate 60 has also grown to its massive maturity. And with now these other new freeways that have been expanding, widening, or lengthening, depending on which freeway I'm talking about, 60, what used to be a parking lot, isn't so much a parking lot anymore because, again, drivers have different places, different ways to get around town now. Then if you go south of the Southeast Valley, you have the South 202 loop. There's a lot of freeways. So what is that? 101, the 10, the 60, the 202, and now we have LG Energy that is moving into the very far southeast that's going to be going in Queen Creek, and we've seen the beginning of State Route 24. And if we are talking about projections in the future, there will be another freeway out on the east part, but that's going to be about 10 years time before we see that. That'll be in Pinal County, coming directly south from Interstate 60 to Santan Valley, and eventually all the way down even further south. So we already have the freeways in place. So if your children need dentists, we have a ton of dentists. We have orthodontists, we have optometrists, we have Phoenix Children's Hospital, which is just down the street. I shouldn't say down the street. It's just in downtown Phoenix. We also have amazing medical care already here. So if your children are having any kind of major problems, let's just say you're going to Phoenix Children's Hospital. They are located in downtown Phoenix, but guess what? There is a hospital also located in Mesa. We also have Dignity Health. Oh my gosh. Can I just take a break here? I want to show you guys. This is, again, the sense of community that the Southeast Valley has. This is from Dignity Health over in Gilbert Mercy, and some of their doctors and nurses were taking a little break, and they had a little game of Monster Kickball. Let's check it out. We also have Chandler Regional Hospital. We have Banner Hospitals. I'm telling you, so you will be very well taken care of for children medical care. Again, this part of the valley has absolutely everything. Don't worry, we haven't forgot about mom and dad. There's a ton of stuff here for mom and dad too. But if you're really thinking about the kids, this is where you want to be. Okay, coming to you, number 5, we're going to talk about cost of living. It is different throughout the greater Phoenix area. And although you might immediately say to yourself, I can't afford the Southeast Valley, it's too expensive. The question is it? The cost of living in the Southeast Valley is actually very moderate, and depending on where you live and what you buy, it might be a lower overhead than you think. And that's what I'm going to peel apart this onion for you. So first of all, you have the housing cost. I realize a lot of people want newer, bigger. Yes, I get it. I had to deal with that even with my own kids. They wanted newer, bigger, and I convinced them to buy closer in, older, and smaller, and they bought it as their first home. And then when they had one child and they were ready to move up into the next level home, which was newer, bigger, and badass, they were able to use that first home as a rental, and now they have amazing generational wealth coming their way. Someone else is going to be paying off that mortgage, and it will eventually be my grandkids' college tuition. I am telling you guys, there are so many amazing smaller, older homes in Chandler, and I'll be honest with you, it's not that expensive. You could buy a single family home, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. There's literally over 100 different ones currently on the market and available at the time of this video. You want to look beyond just the cost of the home. We want to take a look at property taxes. So Chandler and Gilbert and parts of Tempe have relatively low property taxes. It gets a little bit pricier in Queen Creek, and then it goes up in Santan Valley. Well, it goes down in Santan Valley, but you have to pay for fire services extra. See, this is why you have to ask. And the newer construction in Apache Junction, although they offer some great homes and incentives in the new construction, they have what they call a CFD. See, there's all these little details. It's not just about the home price. That's why you got to give us a call. We'd love to do that buyer consultation one-on-one via Zoom call. On top of property taxes, let's talk about utilities. Now, a lot of people ask me, especially depending on where they're moving from, they want to know about the water situation. Not only does the city of Chandler have the lowest cost per unit for the gallon for water, but they have an excess surplus. Most of the cities have a minimum requirement of 100-year water supply for their residents. The city of Chandler has 120, and they're pretty much built out. So they're staying ahead of the game, and that's what's keeping some of these costs at a minimal. Also, these older communities have lower HOAs. We are talking $35 a month. We're also talking maybe $50 a month. There's also a lot of communities that don't have any HOA in the city of Chandler and in Tempe. And let me tell you, the newer communities, some of them are over $200 a month. So again, the totality is what you're looking at, right? All right, here's the cost that you did not think about when buying a house. And that is, in today's world, it's the groceries. People don't realize how much this can blow up your household budget. And calling Southeast Valley your home, you will continue to save if that's the direction you need to go. Let's break down the groceries for you. First of all, if you got a couple teenagers, 3 teenagers, I was spending $300+ a week. 2 of them were in football. They will eat you out of house and home. I'm telling you. You have a little one and you got to have the little green pouches. That's what my grandson calls them. Those are $3 each, and he goes through 2 of those a day. Yes, they're healthy for him. Needless to say, groceries can be a huge chunk of your budget, almost close to your house payment sometimes. My point is there are healthy choices and discount choices available in the Southeast Valley that you're not going to find anywhere else. If you are looking for that organic and very healthy, you have Whole Foods, you have Trader Joe's, you have Sprouts, you have all of those multiple locations. If you are looking for discounts, we have Costco. We're talking multiple Costco's. We even have Sam's Clubs. We have Aldi's. Okay, I'm on the fence about the Aldi. But if that's your cup of tea, we have multiple Aldis. We have Winkos. We have Food City. There are so many local farms. I'm telling you, I get my eggs at Trader Joe's. Those are $5 a dozen right now while the rest of the country is complaining. And if you want to buy them farm fresh out of a Gilbert farm or Chandler farm, they are $6. If you want fresh honey, if you want like the sourdough bread, that's like the new craze everybody is making at home. I am telling you, you're going to save money by calling the Southeast Valley home. So when you're looking at housing prices, you can't just assume that's all it's going to cost because everything is closer to you. You're going to spend less time on the road. That's less wear and tear on your car. That's less money at the gas station. I am telling you, there are so many ways that you will save money by living in the Southeast Valley. The housing is part of it, but it's not the cost standalone. So again, from a totality of cost of living, Southeast Valley for the win. All right, guys, if you are thinking of moving to the greater Phoenix area, if children's lives and futures and how you mold them is a priority, you got to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email. These nights and weekends, we got you back when moving to Phoenix, Arizona. Cannot wait to hear from you super soon.